Have you ever begun a sentence and struggled to finish it? Or stared at the checkout pin pad at the grocery store, drawing a complete blank on the code for your debit card? Have you ever worried about your memory or the memory of someone you love? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Here's mine. I've been there. All of these struggles and many more. I talked to my doctor and she agreed it sounded like early Alzheimer's. In this video, I want to share something new, something I just learned like yesterday, a condition called functional cognitive disorder, or FCD. I learned about this from Dr. Melissa Batchelor. She has a YouTube video on this on YouTube. And most of the information I share about FCD is from her video, this is what I'm trying to get to, titled Functional Cognitive Disorder versus Alzheimer's. Key differences explained. Find a link to her video and a few other research links in the description. Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about FCD. It is not Alzheimer's, but it sure can look like it. Should I rethink my recovery story? I'll fill you in and then you can decide for yourself. All right, so what is FCD? Well, it's a brand spanking new diagnostic category, just added to some official code book in late 2023. It is similar to Alzheimer's in that people with FCD experience problems with memory, focus, and reasoning. In fact, 25% of people diagnosed with early Alzheimer's may actually be experiencing FCD. Okay, so what's the difference? We're going to start with what's going on in the brain. In Alzheimer's disease, neurons shrink. They become dysfunctional and eventually die off. Brain cell death is a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease, but it begins with communication breakdown between cells. By contrast, people with FCD are not losing brain cells. Instead, their brain is functioning abnormally, not because it is deteriorating, but because the cells are working differently. FCD is not considered brain damage, but it can be triggered by a head injury like a concussion. Other factors such as poor sleep, anxiety, depression, and some medications can make FCD worse. Does that help? No, because most of us don't know what's going on inside our noggins. So here is what Dr. Melissa Batchelor describes as characteristics of FCD that we can see. Okay, people with FCD often report their symptoms in vivid detail. They are highly aware of their struggles and deeply concerned. But family and friends often aren't worried at all. FCD typically stays the same over time. It doesn't get worse. Now, by contrast, people with Alzheimer's may be completely unaware that anything is wrong. They are not concerned, but their family members are. The family and friends are the ones who are noticing changes. And Alzheimer's disease progresses, often rapidly. Okay, now let's talk about me. That FCD description, very familiar. I had classic early Alzheimer's symptoms and I was deeply concerned. Wouldn't you be? But my closest people, not so much. But that made sense to me. They weren't there when I blanked out on my debit card pin. They're not there when I walk into the kitchen and find the stove burners on again. Oh, here I am, reporting my symptoms in vivid detail. Very FCD, don't you think? FCD could be me. But one aside, I do want to gently push back on this idea that people with Alzheimer's are unaware. That has not been my experience. My own sainted mother lived with Alzheimer's for years, and she knew. In the early stages, she'd say, oh, my mind, I miss it. Years later, she'd set the table for 3. A place for herself, for her husband, Joe, and for her other husband, Joe. Spoiler, there was only one husband, Joe. And even then, she'd catch us watching her. And she'd say with a twinkle, I know you're laughing at me, but I can't help it. This is just how I see things now. So yes, I believe people, at least some people with Alzheimer's, are aware, do have insight. Or did my mom have FCD? Oh no, no, that was definitely Alzheimer's. Definite disease progression. And I'm pretty sure that cloning your husband is well beyond the FCD playbook. Okay, enough about me. How about you? Are you afraid of losing your mind like I was? FCD might be something to bring up with your doctor. Now, do you need to wait for a diagnosis to do something for yourself? No, I didn't. There's something you can do today, right now even. Treat yourself well. Get more sleep. Lower your stress and feed your brain and body good food. Honestly, today, as I stand here, I don't know whether my symptoms came from early Alzheimer's disease or this newfangled FCD. But I do know this, whichever it was, they diminished when I changed what I ate. I am Eileen. I reversed the worst of my Alzheimer's or maybe FCD symptoms through a clean, low-carb diet. That means choosing real whole foods, no ultra-processed foods, no sugar, no seed oil, cutting back on those questionable additives. And if you're interested in starting a clean, low-carb diet for better brain and body, check the description. I've created a few resources that I think you might find helpful. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for liking this video, commenting on this video, sharing this video with someone else who's afraid she might be losing her mind. And until next time, let's all stay strong, wise, kind, and good by choosing good food for good health. Bye.